Hi there, are you a fashion entrepreneur and all you do is copy your competitor's price to sell your product? To sell your beautiful designs. Now you need to watch this video to the end to see what you're doing absolutely wrong, okay? My name is Yetunde Akande of the Yetunde Fashion Academy, and today we'll be talking about if you actually make profit or loss selling that one item. So let me take, for instance, this product. I asked in one of my business classes and I asked the students there the same question I'm about to ask you. So imagine you have to sell this skirt. Now this skirt is made of Ankara fabric. High quality Ankara fabric. Let's even assume it's the low quality Ankara fabric. Okay, how much will you buy this from a fellow vendor? So I had responses like, I would buy for 3,500. I'll buy for 3,500. Some said I'll buy for 5,000. Another one said maybe 6,500, and I laughed. I laughed in Spanish. I laughed out loud, and I said, you see, you guys are prospective fashion entrepreneurs. You want to start making products to sell, but you're assuming based on how you price items, how people sell items online, and you assume that, oh, this price would actually cover your cost. Now follow me as we go on in this video. So imagine that is a wrap skirt, Ankara wrap skirt, like you turn it in and then wrap it all around. All you need for that skirt that I use at Yetunde is 5 yards of fabric, because you're cutting it as a flare. So you need 5 yards of fabric. Now let's say, for instance, of course, if you're selling, if you own your brand, you should be proud to sell high quality products, okay? So let's assume you get the regular Ankara, which is about 5,500, 6,000 naira for 6 yards. That's the very good one. Average, good quality aside from the Hollandis. You get the 5 yards, okay? So 6 yards is 6,000. So 5 yards is what? That's 5,000 naira. All right. Now the mistake you are making is imagine the cost of the fabric already. So now let me use, like, for example, on the average, how you should calculate your cost. So 5 yards of fabric is 5,000 naira. Now the raw materials, we don't need lining, so we need your thread at this point. So your thread is how much already? I think, let's say 50 naira thread, okay? 50 naira thread. Your zipper is 200 naira. Now we have 5,250 already. All right, now if I ask you, you hire a tailor to just come and cut and sew it for you, how much will your tailor charge? They said maybe 1,000, maybe 1,500. Let's even assume the tailor collects 1,500 to cut and to sew it. That means, for example, you buy your fabric and then give it to the tailor. So let's say the tailor collects 1,500. Now you add up your cost and you say, oh, my cost is 6,750, so I can afford to sell at so much. You are forgetting the fact that you also are in this business. You are supposed to earn your profit. You've forgotten that data that you're already spending. The ones you people even fail to realize is your rent. So you assume, oh, because I'm using my house and I don't have to pay rent. Let's assume you even get your store. And I asked them, okay, if you would get your store, on the average, how much is your store for a year? And they're like, for example, Lagos, maybe they'll get a store around 500,000 naira for a year. That's about 42,000 naira in per month. Now per day is about, how much is that again? Is about 1,300 naira per day, your rent. So let's include the rent, 1,300 naira. Now before I move on, whether you are using somebody's apartment or your apartment, you should start factoring in your rent. You start factoring in your power, because as you grow, your expenses are more likely to increase. So you move from your house and you move to a store, but you already have your customers, and now you have to start paying rent. There is no how the prices of your item will not skyrocket. And what that means is that you might lose your customers that are already used to that price you are selling. So whether you're in your auntie's house or your husband's house or whichever house you are in, you have to factor in your rent. You might split it and say, okay, if our rent is maybe 1 million naira, I am going to be paying 250,000 naira, and you have to factor into every of your costs. Now let's talk about power, free power, right? Don't worry, when you get your own store, you know that you have to pay for these things. So let's assume power and maybe diesel, fuel, and petrol, 15,000 naira in a month. That's about 500 naira daily. Am I correct? Yes, that's about 500 naira daily. Now ask yourself, how many of that wrap skirts will you make in a day? Let's even put the 500 naira per item. So see what we have now already. We already have 5, 0, 10, 5, 8. 8,515 naira. Okay, you are forgetting the fact that, oh, okay, the people that bought the fabric, you took transport to go and buy the fabric, or probably they delivered to you. Transportation in Lagos, let's say about 1,500 naira. Look at it. You already have 1,500 naira. We've not even added our, what's it called? This is already 10,050 naira. We've not even added our data amount. I mean data fee. You've not added your airtime. You've not added packaging. You've not added. So imagine, and you see that skirt out there, and you tell yourself that, oh, I can't buy more than 5,000 naira. I can't buy more than 3,500. And this is how you bite yourself in the leg. So imagine if you even use a low quality fabric, which is 2,000 naira for 6 yards. So let's say we end up using 5,000. Let's say it's even 1,500. Let's deduct 1,500 from here. That's 3,500. Let me take 3,500 out. So this is even with the cheapest amount of fabric. You have, your cost is still 6,550. This is when you even buy that one that looks like nylon to make. Your cost is 6,550. Now imagine you can even still further split this your rent and power by saying, oh, how many skirts will I make in a day? For example, you make 2. You can say one skirt, the cost will be about 650, while the power on one will be about 250. You divide, even at that, you are still, look at your cost already. You've not yet paid yourself salary. You've not yet deducted the wear and tear of your machines. There are so much more, lots of things, your gate man, everything, you've not even deducted it. So can you see you can't even sell that skirt? If you calculate your cost, your exact cost, you realize you can't sell at this amount. And guess what one of the students said? She was like, oh my goodness, because she had been sewing before she joined that class. She was like, oh my God, I've been doing it wrong for the past was it 3 years? Like, I did not realize that usually when they come to me and they beg me, I just think about it, oh, fabric, this, that, and I just add something and I sell for like 8K, like that. And no wonder she never sees her money. Yes, this is what you do wrong. All in the name of, oh, I want to sell, I want to sell, I want to sell. Yes, fine, we all want to sell. But have you taken your time to calculate your own cost? Why do you think you want to use my own cost to sell your product? Our running costs are different. Like, I have to pay gatesman, I have to pay cleaner, and everybody has to get their salary from the same skirts that you see there.